Hello and good evening. I am K1KC. My name is Hey You, but some people call me Chris. I'll be tonight's moderator for the Yellow River Digital Group, System Fusion and WiresX Net. Welcome to net number 45. The purpose of this net is to provide an outlet for Yaesu WiresX and System Fusion radio owners to use the digital features of those devices. This net is hosted by the Yard Dogs, which is simply a nickname of the Yellow River Digital Group. The Yard Dogs were formed in the spring of 2017 for the purpose of advancing knowledge of amateur radio digital methods amongst its members. The Yellow River Digital Group maintains a web presence at yrgg.org and an email reflector at yellowriverdigitalgroup@groups.io. The Yard Dogs request that no bridges to other digital platforms be connected to this room. That is, please do not access this room from DMR, D-Star, or YSF/FCS reflectors. Rather, make your access directly from a WiresX node. The Yard Dogs thank you for your cooperation. All amateurs with System Fusion and WiresX capability are welcome to participate in this net. Volunteers are always welcome, even if for a single session. The pay rhymes with low pay. The intent is that this net serves both as a social and technical virtual meeting place. Being that this is a directed net, we ask that you direct all of your communications through the net controller of that particular session, and once again, that'll be me, K1KC. Our assistant net controllers tonight, NX1Q. The backup room for the Yard Dogs is called State Line, and its number is 43619. Any station that provides public access to the Yard Dogs room via their node can request listing on our web page, in which case we'll publish what the node frequency and location is, as well as when that node will be connected. Some are connected continuously, and some are only connected during the nets. We will now accept check-ins, so please state your name, city, your call sign, and advise if you have traffic or not. Traffic is a question, comment, or a suggestion. Anyone wishing to check in, you may call now.
New Mexico. We sold the house, Chris. We're going to Texas. W5 this one. No traffic.
Monroe, Georgia, no traffic.
KJ4LI, Charles in Gainesville. No traffic tonight, Chris.
All right, let me pick up those that I've got so far. Please advise me of any corrections or additions. N4NT, W5SLG from Texas, KF4VQA from Monroe, and KJ4LY from the outskirts of Gainesville. Are there any others?
KI4EGQ, Bill, Woodstock, Georgia, no traffic.
K4SID, St. Conyers, Georgia, no traffic. N4EXO, Tim, Cedartown, Georgia, no traffic.
All right, we'll pick up that group there. KI4EGQ, K4SID, N4EXO. Are there any others?
N9QGU, Bob, Rochester Hills, Michigan, no traffic.
All All right, we're picking up Bob, N9G QGU, and are there any other? Okay, hearing no others at this point, we'll go ahead and start with tonight's program. And as always, if there is news concerning WireSex and System Fusion, C4FM, Yaesu Digital products in general, we'll cover that. And there's a little bit of news. Everybody's already familiar with that news, I'm sure, but we'll go over it. And if there's any questions, we'll try to deal with that. The first item is that Yaesu released, I guess, not quite a week ago, version 1.5 or 1.530 of the PC software. So the PC software does not affect any of the radios per se. You don't have to do anything to the radios. You just have to update software on your WireSex PC, whether it be a PDN-based computer or an HRI 200-based computer, doesn't matter. Obviously, since the FT3 is about to come out to the stores, I would say pretty soon, they had to write some software to include that because it will have a different GPID, and that's probably not already written into the software, so you have to recognize those. And you may install it right on top of existing software. You may ask what the differences are. Well, let's see. They mentioned the addition of the FT3, and let's see. There was a couple other things they mentioned. One thing they always put in there is improvements and optimizations. Well, if it's firmware for the radios, that generally includes something done to the vocoder. However, this does not include, it's not firmware updates. It's just PC software updates. So what does that mean? Well, that could mean something that improves your internet connectivity or something like that. They're not specific about that, so I cannot really say what was included there. Anyway, I've put version 1.53 on, I think, 5 devices, not had a single problem. I know some people did have problems, but I don't think there was any kind of consensus that there was anything wrong with the software. So the software looks good, and I hope everybody's got it installed properly. Now, that a lot of people will say, well, I'll wait till the bugs get worked out and all that sort of thing. In general, it is best to go ahead and install the software and keep your system up to date with everybody else's system, because there might be features that will not work with your system that won't work because you haven't upgraded the software. So they might be minor, but it's generally best for the whole system, the whole WireSex system worldwide, to be operating on the same page. So I would encourage you, if you have not already upgraded to 1.530, to go ahead and do so. Okay, also in the news was the release of the FT3 manuals, which there was a short manual leaked, and it wasn't really leaked. It was on the FCC website, but it was put out and on unofficial channels, and not very long, not much later, it actually came out on the Yaesu website. So you can find all the manuals for the FT3 on the website if you want. Now, I have not looked in a day or two, so I don't know if any of the retailers are claiming to have any of the radios, or if anybody's heard anything about shipping, but I'm going to guess that it's going to happen really soon. So, to that end, does anybody have any news about shipping of FT3s?
KC6UK.
All right, we're going to check in Craig and let him go ahead.
I don't know if anybody's seen this, but I noticed they already got the case that works for the FT3, and pretty much most of the stores have the case. So things are going to happen pretty quickly now. Within the next, I'm going to say the next 15 days.
Well, Craig, I would agree with you, and I wouldn't be surprised to see it within the next week. The Bluetooth device, I think, was out several days back that would work with it, and now the case you say is available. Are you talking about the carrying case? Is that what it is?
Yeah, of course, because of its size difference, they had to create a whole new different case, but all the other accessories are the same. But yeah, from from the Texas store all the way up to the east, and I think there's only one store that I think one that is not got the case. But I mean, when you start getting the accessories in for it, the things like that they're gonna need, and it's kind of funny. If you look on YouTube, there's a Japanese out there that's really excited about his KC60 QT back then.
Yeah, there's been one review available for some time now, and of course the reviewer had not seen or held an FT3, so it wasn't really a review, but it was listed as a review anyway. So, all right, so we're thinking that's going to happen pretty soon, but we don't really know there. So, any other comments about the release of the FT3?
K4SID.
Well, I'd hope you'd say something there. Sid, what do you know? Or what do you not know?
Well, Chris, I never know a whole lot, but there is one particular that is listing, if you buy today the earpiece, it will arrive to you September 6th. I'm sorry, it will arrive to you August 15th. If you buy the FT3 today, it will arrive to you September 6th or 15th or right around in that area. That's what I know looking at the different retailers.
Oh, well, that's pretty specific. uh, they could probably throw out a date and get them before then and deliver them before then. And we'd all be happy because we got them earlier than we expected, right?
QSL, yeah, that would make us happy campers.
Okay, appreciate those comments there. Let me go ahead and make another call for check-ins. I think we might have a few more. The last few that we had were N9QGU, KC6UQT, and X1Q. Are there any others?
Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay, we picked up Don in the biggest city area-wise in the country, maybe in the world. I don't know. K4EAE. Are there any others? All right. Well, we're going to go on with the program then. We're going to. I don't think there was any more Yaesu news that I had there, but if I can think of any, I'll certainly come back to that. So the topic tonight is called "Can You Hear Me?" Can you hear me? The study of propagation is a fine profession, and it might be a good thing for all of us to be familiar with. But to what extent? Yes, you might have a better idea of when to try calling someone on the air if you have some knowledge of propagation. But is that knowledge more useful than getting on the air? Let me read you this quote from the Journal of Geophysical Research that was recently republished in QST. And this is what they printed. Radar studies in Peru indicate that a thin stratum of magnetic field aligned irregularities embedded in the E layer is responsible for the entire sporadic E configuration. The increased equivalent ranges of the slant trace are attributed to oblique propagation in the east-west plane orthogonal to the irregularities. End quote. Well, let me be the first to say that is fine and dandy, but pretty much useless to me. What? Why would I be so cruel as to say that excellent research is useless to me? Well, number one, I can't do anything to cause it, and I can't do anything to change it. Number two, I will probably never know when and to what extent it is occurring. And number three, if I call and nobody answers, that research and that propagation have done nothing for me. No matter if you have a schedule or you are attempting to make a random contact, nothing, but nothing, beats getting on the air and making a call. If no one answers you, what are you going to do? Dial up some propagation? I don't have a propagation knob on any of my radios, and I've looked. If someone does answer you, does it make any difference as to what sort of propagation I'll have to contact? The author of the article I'm referencing, John Jones, who obviously knows quite a bit more about propagation than I do, also says sporadic E also occurs in the region around the geomagnetic equator. It may be due to temporary reversal in the electrostatic horizontal E field affecting the equatorial electrojet currents. Right. I just don't see me thinking that ahead of time. It's more likely that I'll pick up a microphone or a key and see if anybody answers me. Does it cost any more if there's a temporary reversal in the electrostatic horizontal E field? Does it make me talk backwards? Now, I do not wish to minimize the value of the understanding of our physical world, but then I do not want to overlook the end result. Can you hear me? Tell me when a propagation study guarantees that you will make contact. It does not. I will reiterate that use of propagation studies may enhance your chances of making a contact, but that is purely because it changes your behavior. Other than the government project known as HARP, perhaps, I am not aware of any of us being able to call upon the type of propagation we need at any given moment. Therefore, we are dependent on the propagation guides to deliver our message of, can you hear me? Okay, so that is the diatribe of the evening from K1KC. Let us see if there are any more check-ins. This is the Yellow River Digital Group System Fusion at Wires XNet calling for check-ins. Okay, I think everybody who was going to check in has, but let me beat the bush one time. WC4FM, K1KC. Okay, I didn't get the propagation I wanted there, so let's go right to the list. N4NT, what is happening with your club up there and your repeaters?
Well, good evening, everybody. Actually, the room that I have set up and working through my club repeater, still running everything analog. We have our club meeting tomorrow night, so I think we're going to discuss the moving forward getting a fusion repeater. But in the meantime, I'm running analog through our analog repeater with my room Space Mountain 61243. But the good news or the good change that I made today is I got a FTM 100 actually came today, and it is connected to that room, so I don't have to disconnect it to check into nets like this or connect to other rooms and so forth. I can use my FTM 400 for that now. So I'm glad of that. It's funny, I took the 100 out of the box, put the mobile bracket on it, connected the antenna and the power cable and the HRI 200, and powered it up. And I don't even have the microphone connected to it. It's strictly being used for that right now, and that's probably where it'll stay. But I'm tickled with that. And also our club YouTube page right now, I'm broadcasting this net live and recording it, and sounds like there's a lot of good information in case folks need to refer back to it about these updates. It'll be there and available. You can look up Bristol Amateur Radio Club on YouTube and be able to watch this video back and replay the information if you need to. And probably as soon as this net's over, I will have to shut my room down momentarily and update my WiresX software over there, because I did just notice that it's the previous version. But what I loaded onto this computer today to be able to use this radio is, of course, up to date because it just got installed today. But anyway, that's the latest from here in Bristol, and appreciate the information you put out there tonight. I hope everybody has a good evening. Back to net control. This is N4 NT.
Oh, we're glad to hear you're making progress over there. I did connect one day, and it was pretty obvious it was in the analog. You could hear the in the background that you hear on the analog stations a lot of times, and so forth and so on. So we hope that you guys get it all up digital and that sort of thing. There was something else you said, and then it sort of slipped my mind what it was I was going to comment on there. But good to hear that news there, and good luck moving ahead with that there, Adam. So thanks for checking in. All right, this is K1KC. We're going to go down to Texas. Elmer, how is the propagation between your handheld and your node across the room? Well, I'm not near water. Not near salt water?
No, not near saltwater, Chris. But this issue of propagation, I tell you. Well, first of all, we get to the real news. I did sell my house. It's sold in 4 days. We have closed escrow on September the 5th. Holy tamale! But anyway, we got a lot to do, so we'll discuss that later. But propagation, of course, propagation. W6LG, who does all the YouTube, Jim up there, who does he has all these videos for Wolf. So he says, are that really dead? Well, we don't know. There's times where you can really hear people coming in on you, and you think, my God, they're sitting right here, and all of a sudden you key up, you tune, you look good, your compression's good, everything's good, and they don't hear you. I think really you are right about one thing. You are at the propagation, God's mercies on how propagation is going to work, especially in the HF side of things. Now, also Eric, KJ4YZI, and Mr. Craig go across town here, and we watch his videos a lot. He does really good, informative videos on different modes, different operations. And propagation, he says, the bands are dead. The bands are dead. He's making a joke of it because people are always saying, well, we can't get anywhere. But he's getting all these contacts. But, of course, he lives in Florida on the Keys. He's got water all around him. He's getting contacts all over the place. So, yeah, when you look at the propagation maps, and you go on ARR or any of these sites that do long distance propagation, you will see that, especially around the water areas down in the Florida Keys areas on the East Coast, you're going to get a lot more propagation. Let me drop it. On that note, back to Jim, W6LG, who always says, well, we don't hear anything. How do we know that anybody's really out there? He's not talking about propagation. He's just saying, you pick up the mic, you get the call, and you start calling. And he called for about, I watched one of his videos, he called for a good 5 minutes. By golly, somebody came back to him, and he had about a 30-minute QSO with this guy who was, where was he? He was on Wolf Mountain in California, and he was talking to a guy over, I think it was in Arizona or someplace like that. Of course, Jim does have a very powerful setup, or did. He sold his house now, so I kind of gather Jim's health is not too well these days, but I wish the best for him. But well, let me drop it one more time and I'll finish up. And Chris, and everybody who does HF, and all you guys who do the HF side and know this to be a fact that trying to talk on a band with an antenna that's not meant for that particular band can also cause issues. And there's more ham to try to do that tuner on it. Well, yeah, you can put a tuner on it. You're going to make the radio happy, but you're not necessarily going to make the antenna happy. So where does that meter go? It always goes before the tuner, so you can actually see what the antenna is doing on that side. So making your radio happy doesn't mean that you're making your antenna happy. So, you're getting 1-to-1 on the radio with the antenna tuner, but you're looking at your meter on the other side, and you're getting a 4-to-1. You're losing about about good 20 to 30 or 40% power. So those are factors you must remember. Get the antenna that's meant for those bands and use them properly. On that note, I'm done rambling. W5, Pomona, Texas.
Well, we're glad to hear that you sold so quickly and everything's happening for you finally there. I know it was a lot of grief in the meantime there, so glad to hear that. It just struck me that, and I like technical things and I like technical answers and all that, but it just struck me that explanation about, well, they were saying that they really didn't know what propagation allowed a certain contact to happen. And I'm thinking, what difference does it make? I really don't care personally, and that's a personal thing. I don't care what propagation it was that got me there. All I care is, did he hear me? Did I hear him? That's really all I cared about. So, and I'm not dissing those people, but it just was over the top for me there. All right. Well, thanks a lot there, Elmer. Let's go to Monroe, KF4 VQA.
Hey, good evening, Chris, and everybody else on the net. But question on the Wires X software to update update the software. Do I have to go to the Yazoo webpage to download it, or is there a drop-down box on the Wires X software I currently have to update? So with that, I'll turn it back to Next Control, Chris at KF4 VQA.
Okay, Jeff. Well, I hope you had a good vacation there. You'll have to go to yaesu.com, go to Products, Digital, HRI 200 files, and you'll find both an explanation file about what it's all about which doesn't really tell you a whole lot. And you'll also find, I think the second one is the actual file, version 1.53. Point 3 miles above the sea level, there would be a jet of electrons that are going to allow me to talk to Timbuktu. I would probably not know that. I think my best bet would be to pick up the microphone. So anyway, I probably over talked that one. Thanks for checking in there, Jeff, and we'll talk to you again soon. So let's go to Gainesville, KJ4LY.
Well, good evening there, Chris. I didn't get too much from that other station. It just went into Kids 22, but I got to figure that out. But I guess you heard that. Other than that, we just been tinkering around with the new radio. I'm finally getting acquainted with it. And they made some contacts on 2 meter sideband. Other than that, not too much from Gainesville. KJ4LY.
You said you did make some 2 meter sideband contacts?
Yeah, affirmative. I wasn't too far away. I guess maybe the longest one's about maybe 40, 45 miles, but I did make a couple of them, so it works. Of course, my antenna's vertical, and I get everybody else is horizontal. That's got a little to do with it too, but it still works.
Oh, awesome, awesome. Well, we'll have to give that a shot someday. I can hook up a vertical and we can try talking to each other. Actually, I have a diagonal. It's kind of laying way over to one side, so maybe it'll still work. Anytime you want to try it, give me a holler. We'll do it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I've been tinkering with that and some projects around here, and I guess I can pull that beam down, and wouldn't take probably 45 minutes to crank the hazer down and flip that thing horizontal, and that should make an improvement. But we'll see. Next project's 6 meters.
All right. Well, I'm glad you're having fun with it there. That's great. Let's go. Was it Woodstock? KI4 AGQ K1KC. KI4 AGQ Bill, are you there? All right, we'll come back to Bill. K4SID, K1KC. What's going on?
Oh, not a whole lot in my neck of the woods, Chris. I tell you, we got some thunder boomers hanging around here currently. So I guess we're probably going to get some rain in a little bit, but that's about all I got going on today and this week for that fact. So with Control, K1KC from K4SID.
Well, it's funny you said that because I thought I heard some thunder. Yep, there. Yeah, sure is. I left some pool filters outside to dry out. Well, it looks like that might move away from me. I might miss it. So it wouldn't hurt to have some more rain. We got just a trace amount yesterday, so wouldn't hurt to have some more there. All right. Well, thanks for checking in, Sid. Hope that FT3 surprises you in the mail earlier than expected, and you will be a happy man. So let us know when that happens. N4 EXO K1KC.
K1KC and 4EXO. Yeah. Real good tonight on the propagation. Yeah, you just gotta get out there and give it a try. I've been really surprised at what 40's been doing lately. I've never seen 40 been able to make contacts, DX contacts so much on 40 as I have lately. But it's a big part of that's FT8, but still. And I'll N4NT a QSL card because we hooked up on FT8 one night and started off on 20 and then went to 40 and then went to 80. So we had to pick a band that worked between here and Tennessee, in Bristol there. And so I'm going to order some QSL cards and, try to get him a card sometime, or Adam there. And I do have the new versions loaded, 2 tablets and the PC here, so no problem with that. And my car is running faster now too because I got a new amateur radio car tag on it now, so it's running better. So I'm glad about that. So that's about it from here. K1KC and 4EXO.
Funny how that works. My car runs better when I wash it.
Well, at least I'll be able to remember my tag number now when people ask over.
You missed it last week. We were talking about space last week, and you weren't here.
Yeah, well, I think that's because I was a little bit spaced out from the dentist visit. Back to you.
Yeah, well, I went to the dentist today, and they tried to choke me, but we were talking about a certain company that had attached a device to the nose of a Cygnus rocket and are about to do another one, and then they're planning on putting up a bunch of satellites and all that sort of thing. I figured you probably would have known something about it.
Well, I'm sort of familiar with the Cygnus rockets, but not that close. But I was thinking about, I was just thinking the FT3 with the Bluetooth. If they just put Wi-Fi in it and the PC software sort of built into it as firmware, we wouldn't need any tablets anymore. So I don't know why that thought just entered my mind, but I was kind of thinking about the satellites. Eventually, there's going to be satellite phones, I think, that are a lot more common than today. So that comment about Cygnus and whatever it was they put on that one made me think of that. Back to you, Chris, in 4EXO.
Well, that just so happens to be exactly what we were talking about. Ubiquity Link networks were going to put up satellites that you could use your regular cell phone with. So, all right. Well, you could have contributed greatly to that conversation, but you weren't there, so you didn't get to talk about it. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't get any extra pay for perfect attendance, I guess.
Oh, yeah, you do. It just rhymes with low pay. Okay. N4EXO, thanks for checking in, and we'll be looking for you next time. N9QG Bob, what's going on in your radio world?
KCN9QGU, figuring out this portable digital node business. Got my information from Yaesu yesterday after a week, and I'm glad you said the update to the software, because I had downloaded it last week and got 1.51, and now I see there is 1.53, so I'll have to update that this evening, and still figuring it out. I think I'm in my basement. I think my wireless connection down here is a little wonky, so I notice I drop out occasionally, and I think that's it, because I can see the signal strength's a little low on my computer, so I may have to manipulate that a bit, but just figuring out the whole world of Fusion and WiresX, and it's got me interested in radio again for the first time in a number of years. So I'm going to say my 73s, because I got to get up in the morning and go to work. So this is November 9, Quebec Gulf, uniform clear.
Well, before you turn off the radio there, Bob, welcome to System Fusion. We think it's the best amateur digital platform going. It's pretty easy to run and certainly easy to make a contact and all that sort of thing. So we hope you stick with it, and we hope to hear you anytime, not just on the nets. Come by anytime.
Well, thank you very much, and thank you to you, clear.
All right, let's go to KC6UQT. Craig, you got any more tonight?
No, not too much more, but I can see something happening, and you probably see this too. Yaesu's going to get rid of the FT2D pretty quickly.
Well, that's a possibility. They kept the FT1 around for a while after the FT2 came out, and they even upgraded it with the 66-channel GPS receiver for a while, and then really wasn't that long after that they quit selling it altogether. And I tried to get one of those lamps, but I was a little bit too late. So, and I've been thinking about the FT2 because the batteries, which is the same for the 1, 2, and 3, they're about $80. And I could go get a battery, or I could get a brand new FT2 that would give me a battery, and it's less than $300. So the price of the battery is more than 25% of the cost of that radio. It's just doesn't make sense. So I think an FT3 is probably just an upgraded FT2. And I mean, not that I wouldn't like to have one and all that, but I'm not paying that kind of money just yet. So FT2s might be a hot commodity here pretty soon.
Remember, there is other companies. The only company, of course, I know of it says batteries is Batteries America. They have the same pack, the one that works on the FT2 and the 3 and so on. I think it's a 2270 milliamp pack, and it's I think it was a little under $50 or something like that.
I have had some aftermarket batteries before, and for whatever reason, I seem to like the OEM batteries better. But batteries are expensive. FT70 batteries are a lot cheaper. They're about half the price of the 1, 2, and 3 batteries, but I don't have an FT70. So, and I'm probably getting close to the point where I need new batteries I had 4. One of them was about 6 years or 5 years old. It finally kind of gave out where it really wouldn't hold the charge anymore. So I'm down to 3, but the little tabs are weak and breaking off, and so I'm really at the point where I'm going to need batteries. So maybe I can just get another radio. Who knows? But I was kind of hoping Yaesu would take this opportunity to come up with a new battery connection design, because I don't think this is a good one. But they didn't take that opportunity. So Got nothing to look forward to there. All right, Craig, anything else?
No, and I see their logic behind it. And some people like it, some people don't. But and they've done that with a lot of their radios. Yaesu did. There's a lot of the radios in the past that could interchange battery packs like crazy, and where other, Kenwood's built something different, and ICOM built something different, and nothing's fits anything else. So I think the smart plan was to try and stick with something that works with everything else. So I got to give them that.
Well, you got to take the bad with the good, and that the good is, yes, the parts are all interchangeable, the microphones and all that sort of thing. So, oh well, we'll see what goes on here. All right, Craig, good talking to you. I'll be looking for you next time around, and we're going to go to NX1Q. Don.
Hey, good evening, everyone. Pretty noisy in here. They're having a practice singing tonight. But, was the guy with the 400? Oh, yeah, I'll have to email him. Had his running with his SCU-20. Anyway, anyone having trouble with the SCU-20, please email me and let me know your troubles. Got mine working for a day, then it fluttered for a day, and then now none of the computers recognize it. I'm sure that's a driver thing somewhere or other, but tried the old powered USB port, and that didn't work. So I'm out of steam. Leonard, if you're there tonight, maybe we can talk afterwards. If not, you don't have time, that's fine. We can do that some other time. And also, if anyone knows of good fishing spots along the Yellow River, the kids and I would like to know those. You can email me those too. Viewing a few videos tonight, and some people were catching some decent striped smallmouth bass there, and a few panfish and other things. So it's listed as a good place for bluegill and other panfish too. So wanted to do some of that and have a little cookout. Next one, Q.
Well, I was under the impression all you could catch in the river here was tapered eels and brown snappers, but anyway, well, good luck with that. Now, tell me one more time: is your 400 and your PDN working or not working?
Yeah, I wish I had a 400. It's a 100, and it worked last week for a day or so, and then when I plugged it into in the car with the laptop, it worked for about an hour, and then it just fluttered, went in and out, and then wouldn't work at all. So now whatever I plug it into, plugged it into several different computers, it just won't see the cable. The computer just won't see the cable and won't assign a COM port, and so you can't fire up Wires X without getting past that step first.
All right. Well, let us try to help you with that. I'm going to ask you some stupid questions. Did you change USB cables?
No, I appreciate it. I think you said, did I change the cables? I only have the one cable, so yeah, I didn't do anything different except use the one cable between a couple different computers.
All right. Well, I'll be happy to work with you on that. If you want to come by, or if we want to try to do it over the radio or the phone or something like that, I'd be glad to help you with that. And Leonard, Don wants to talk to you about that. If you heard that. Anything else there, Don?
Yeah, I really appreciate that, Chris. Yeah, maybe we could do that. I'm not sure entirely when I can get by. I'm kind of super busy during summer, but that's it. God bless you all. Thanks, one.
All right, Don. Well, certainly thanks for net assistant net controller duties tonight, and let's go to Don. Don and Don, K4EAE, Duval County. Hello. K4EAE, K1KC calling. All right, let's go back to Bill, KI4EGQ. Bill, are you there? All right, we lost two, but we can certainly add some more. Are there any stations that would like to check into the Yellow River Digital Group Wires X and System Fusion Net that have not checked in so far?
This is WC4FM, Whiskey Charlie 4, Fox Mike, Leonard over here in between, Georgia. Yeah, good evening to everybody on the net. Yeah, I'm a little bit late checking in, getting these kids ready for school today, this evening. Got to get them in bed here shortly. Don, I'll give you a shout here on the landline, or I'll text message you first to make sure it's okay to call you. I know you might have some kids going to bed too. I know you've got kids. So anyway, hope everybody's having a good week so far. Great. I really did. I appreciate. Let's see, the Bristol group putting that on YouTube. I went over and looked at it. Hey, that's pretty slick. I like it. And got the dashboard up there and running. I didn't have a big screen. I could see it on my my Android, but hey, you know, if I'm in an area where I can put it on a big monitor, that's really nice setup. That YouTube was delivering it. And yeah, thanks for doing that. And thanks for everybody else on the net that's running it, and you too, Chris. Thanks a lot for doing this net tonight. And yep, we'll talk to everybody later on. I'll be hanging around here shortly. WC4FM, back to net.
All right. Well, we have special mention tonight. We want to wish a happy birthday to Leah McElhannon, who is 11 years old today.
Okay. Yeah, I told her. I think she's in her bed sleeping. So anyway, I can let her hear the YouTube video if the Bristol group keeps it up on the YouTube. So that's a great idea, man. I mean, a great wish for her. She had a good birthday today, everybody. She got a good cake at the Sweet Hut. There's a place called Sweet Hut out in Atlanta, and we went to a hot pot and had some good veggies in a hot pot, Asian food, and it was delicious. They cooked it on had a little portable, what was it? Not propane, but it was one of those you light it up with a match. It was a canister fuel underneath the boiler, and we could keep our hot pot real hot and get all the veggies and all the meat in there nice and cooked well. It was delicious. So she had a great dinner tonight, and had a good cake, and got a bubble tea drink. Bubble tea is very popular here in Atlanta, and I don't know if any of y'all had the bubble teas, but it's good. So anyway, back over to net, and I'll tell Leah that everybody told her happy birthday. WC4FM.
A1KC. Now, you can also tell her we are expecting her go back and test again for her license.
Well, I will definitely make mention of that. I will tell her that. And I think she's a good candidate. She just gotta get back down that road. WC4 FM, back to that.
N4NT, the message that I had let slip my mind earlier was that last week I was talking on the 3200, and as I heard, it doesn't sound that great when I speak right into the microphone. There were a lot of plosives, sounds that came across there. So the audio was not that good. I'm on a handheld tonight, which I usually do, but I had changed radios last week. So, all right, this is K1KC for the Yard Dogs, System Fusion of Wires XNet. Are there any stations who have not checked in who would like to?
Hey, before KK.
All right, we got AB4KK. Are there any others? Alan, you want to check in? Okay, we're missing some of our regulars, Brad and Darla and some of our regulars, but Chris, go ahead.
Yeah, all right, Chris. Well, very good evening to everybody on the net. We've been listening a little bit here and enjoying the net. My name is Chris. For those that don't know me, I'm in Chesapeake, Georgia. Not too far from Brunswick, about 45 miles inland from the Atlantic Ocean here. And we just had a beautiful day, but they're saying we're gonna get rain the rest of the week, so we could use a little rain. But back to that. Hey, before KK.
All right, Chris, good to hear from you. And I'll have to check the forecast here, but I think I just seen they were just talking about scattered or isolated showers, so who knows. It was pretty clear, and I didn't think there'd be any rain tonight, but we certainly had a pop-up that came up here just to the west and north of us, so it looks like Leonard might be getting a little bit of rain there, but it looks like it kind of bypassed me. So what's going on here? Well, let's see. I wanted to buy some little chlorine tablets for the pool, and they, for whatever reason, I can't find them in that size anymore. Even though the pumps that they sell you only take a little tiny chlorine tablet, but they had about 10 million of the great big ones, and then you got to have a dispenser for them. So that's what I had to do. And now if it rains, it's going to upset the pool balance anyway. So we'll see. Not too much other radio news going on here. Just what we talked about already. All right, last chance now for check-ins, comments, etc. for the Yard Dogs System Fusion and Wires XNet.
Hey, for SIE.
Go ahead.
Get my mic, boom mic, in front of my mouth when I talk. Probably hear me better that way. Just a comment for Don's situation. I'm sure he has, but he may want to check the device manager and make sure that the device manager is actually assigning or seeing the SU20 cable and delete software for that and then reinstall it, and that may help him. Maybe he may have already done that. I don't know, but just a thought as I was listening to everybody. Back to net control.
Okay, well, appreciate that suggestion there. Let's see. Anybody else? Let me give it one last call. KI4EGQ, K4EAE. Bill, Don, either one of you guys there? All right, we're going to attribute that to poor propagation between the node and the handheld here. That concludes tonight's Yellow River Digital Group System Fusion Wires X Net. I'd like to thank each and every participant for joining and helping making net number 45 a success. Please pass the word around to other System Fusion Wires Xers about the net. Direct them to yrdg.org or Yellow River Digital Group, one word, at groups.io. 73, good night from K1KC.